built wealth, brought interest rates down, gave us flexibility, let me do a whole range of things in rural and regional Australia that we couldn't have otherwise done.
On the other side of the political fence, former Treasurer Ralph Willis says he's slightly embarrassed by his inclusion on the honours list. He says his concept of the wages accord with unions was fundamental in reforming the economy in the early 90s.
Through the accord we were able to make a very strong recovery, get jobs growth going rapidly, and then of course the accord became a stalwart part of our economic policy throughout our whole period of government.
We've changed the political landscape for the better.
Natasha Stott-Despoja is also recognised for her services to Parliament. In 1995, she was the youngest woman to join the Senate and eventually became leader of the Australian Democrats. Rob McLean brought one of the world's largest environmental groups to Australia. The Nature Conservancy works to balance the protection of the environment with the demands on land.
As more and more people have come to realise how special these assets are, there's an interest in figuring out, what's the right way to allow people to earn their livelihoods, whether they're as miners or in agriculture, but also seek to protect these extraordinary natural assets.
Aboriginal elder Veronica Dobson has been recognised for a lifetime of preserving the endangered Arunda language, with only 2,000 people left speaking it. And Mary Martin has devoted her life to improving the health of Indigenous Australians.
We've still got so much longer to go, so much further to go, and whether that happens in my lifetime, I doubt it. But at least we're beginning, and more Australians are wanting to know about the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander history and the health situation as well.
Former AMA Chief Dr Karen Phelps has been recognised for her work in community health. She's also a vocal advocate for gay law reform, as is former Democrat Senator Brian Gregg, who says a lot has been achieved for the gay community, but equality only comes with gay marriage.
Polling shows repeatedly that the Australian community is overwhelmingly in favour of equal marriage. It will happen, but as I say, it has to be made to be happen. It's not going to happen passively. There has to be a campaign and an argument in favour of why it should be.
In the service of the country, former Australian Federal Police Chief Mick Kelty has been honoured for a distinguished career in law enforcement.
We've lost two very good soldiers.
Major Jason Grote, along with Warrant Officer Kevin Dolan, are two of several members of the armed forces recognised for putting their lives on the line in Afghanistan.
ABC News 24.
The Managing Director of the ABC, Mark Scott, has overseen massive change at the broadcaster, which has more television channels, radio stations and online services than ever. He says in an environment of unprecedented media choice, the ABC must stay true to its core values.
The journalism that we do is journalism of great consequence, and I think that will be important. Australian stories, Australian drama, Australian content on television, very important for us. And our commitment in regional and rural Australia too.
Former Australian cricketer Max Walker gets a gong for his service to the sport and his charity work.
We can all help. It doesn't have to be dollars. It can be a phone call. It can be an idea or a connection. But I like to think that we can all make a difference.
Ex-Wallabies player and author Peter Fitzsimons is also recognised for his services to sport, literature and conservation.
I suppose my primary thought once I opened the letter was my late parents would have been very, very pleased. My mother got an Order of Australia for services to the community in 1992, and I thought Mum would be happy for that, and I'm happy for that.
And Andrew Locke climbed his way onto the honours list. He was the first Australian to summit all 14 of the world's highest peaks above 8,000 metres. Adrian Rochella, ABC News.